This is such a fun recipe that we're going to make today. This is called Aloha Chicken and Rice Bake. Now, 10 minutes prep time. It's super, super easy. Best thing, you just have it baking in one dish. You don't even use a bowl to prep. You just dump it in. I've got a little bowls here, but that's just for my prep. But you literally can just dump it in. And it's so quick and easy to make. So let's get started. First of all, if you want this recipe to print, just go to kidsbakingclub.com and you'll see up above in the links our blog. Go ahead and click the blog, and if it's not showing right there, then it's under baked dinners. So you're gonna love that. Also, make sure you like this video because what it does is it spreads the love around. We are Kids Baking Club. My name is Jill. I'm the founder. We are completely dedicated to bringing the entire family into the kitchen to learn the art of baking and cooking. And we want kids to start learning when they're young because it's something that they're going to have for the rest of their lives. It's also a lot of learning that's a lot of fun for kids. It's kind of like a craft or an activity that they actually get to eat. So, you guys ready to get started? Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the vegetables that we're going to be throwing into our dump and bake casserole. One of them is a red pepper. Now, peppers come in all different colors, green, red, yellow, orange. They're actually the same pepper. It's just however long they stay on the vine is how color they turn out. So if you buy a green pepper, that's the first color, and they're usually a little cheaper because they pick them off the vine right away. But the red pepper I love because when it bakes, it has this flavor that's really, really delicious. Very different than when you eat it when it's cold. So that's why it's fun to bake things to taste different flavors. So you just want to take a kind of a kitchen knife, a dinner knife, not something too sharp because it's actually very forgiving when you cut it. And this is a good thing to get the kids to do because they love using their hands, and this is called dicing. So you just want to make sure that you hold the vegetable away from where the knife is, and you just want to cut this down. I did take the seeds out. So you're just going to go ahead and cut, and then you're going to dice it into small little pieces, just small little pieces like that. And then you're going to add it in. All right, let's talk about our take, make, and bake because we always take out all of our ingredients and the tools that we need to use. Our making is making it and then baking it. So let's talk about the ingredients. Now we are using, step that over to the side. We are using a sweet and sour sauce, but you can use any kind of Hawaiian flavored sauces. We're using a ½ cup of water. We are using the pineapple tidbits, but we're keeping the juice in there. We need the juice because it's gonna actually cook the rice. We have 1 cup of red peppers diced. You can use yellow or orange too. We have 1 cup of diced onions. Now, to make it quick, I just bought the onions diced in a bag in the freezer. So it's super easy, and it'll be just easy to dump in there, especially because we're back to school and the kids are having fun, and so they can take a break, help you bake dinner, and then get back to school. This is 1 cup of uncooked rice. It's better to use the long grain rice. And then 1 pound of chicken breasts or chicken thighs. Make sure they're deboned, and you're going to cut them up. Remember, when you dice up chicken or any type of meat with your hands, you always want to go and wash your hands before you actually get back to baking. And now we're ready to dump, okay? So all you're going to need is a casserole dish like this, and we're just going to start dumping. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our sauce, and we're just going to dump it out. Then I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned from my grandmother on how to make sure to get all the sauce out. So with that ½ cup of water, I'm going to pour it in here. Then I'm going to put the lid back on. I'm going to shake it up, and now I'm getting everything that was in that jar into the water, and now I'm going to add it back in. When you notice on the printable recipe, it also says you could alter it with a ½ cup of chicken broth, so you would just do the same thing. You would just put the chicken broth in here, shake it up, and see, everything's gone. Yay. We do that with spaghetti sauce as well. Now you're going to take your 1 whole can of pineapple tidbits and you're going to pour that in, and you want the juice. We need all this juice because that is what's going to make the rice cook. We're just going to stir that around. I love the smell of pineapple. Do you guys? It already smells amazing. The nice thing is you can actually prep this during the day and put it in the refrigerator, cover it with foil, and then when it cools down a little bit, sometimes it's hot, you know, it's hot right now where we live, then go ahead and turn your oven later in the day, and then you can cook it. Okay, now it's time to add our vegetables. This is where you kind of want to sprinkle so it divides it evenly around the casserole dish. And then our onions. You can add different vegetables. If you don't like these vegetables, you can, but this kind of gives it a Hawaiian flavor. I call it Aloha Chicken and Rice because aloha means love, it means peace, it means compassion. And when someone says aloha, they're not only just saying hello to you, but they're actually saying, I'm extending love, I'm extending peace, I'm extending compassion. And I've never seen anyone say aloha without a smile on their face. My brother and sister-in-law and their daughter live in Hawaii, and one of my favorite things is visiting them and just seeing the love of the Hawaiian people. All right, now we are going to add our uncooked rice, and this is where you really want to spread this out. And then you want to make sure when you stir it that you sink all of that rice into the casserole, making sure it gets all the water underneath. Now this is the time when you are ready to bake, you want to turn it on to 350 degrees. And then we're going to add our chicken. So just kind of put the chicken around, different places around, or it just dumps out right there. And then just go ahead and spread it around. If you want, you can just use whole pieces of chicken breast or the tender thighs, or just add that to that. I like it cut up in pieces because it's a little bit easier to dish out. Some people don't want a whole piece of chicken, and then you don't have to cut it all. Makes it easier. So now this is really important what I'm about to tell you. You have to put a real tight seal of foil over the top of your chicken. And the reason why is because if you've ever cooked rice, you know that you have to put a lid on it, even with a rice cooker. So I'm going to really put that tight over the top. And then this is going to go into the oven for 1 hour at 350 degrees. And when it's all done, you will have the most delicious dinner that serves anywhere from 8 to 10 people. Unless you're a big eater, then only serve 6. Thanks for joining me today. I'm so excited to come with you every single week. And if you want to get our baking kits, just go to kidsbakingclub.com. We will see you next time. See you later.